All right, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about patient financing and why, if not done properly, it comes across kind of car salesman-y. And I don't even know if that's a word, but you know what I mean. And 99% of dentists are getting this wrong. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. And I'm going to talk about the fears, why dentists are so scared of patient financing, why they train their teams the wrong way on how to use it, and why most people don't even end up using it at all. And what you can do to really boost your ROI on your marketing and make more money overall. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to jump right into this. If you're on the live stream, drop a comment below and we will get to you and answer your questions. And at the end, I'm going to give you a case study of someone who did this, a brand new dentist working with us first month, and they doubled their new patients with almost a 400% ROI. They did it with this technique. So we're going to be talking about that. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. But you can't grow if your team is selling like a used car salesman. That's a big problem. And I know dentists hate this so much. They hate sales. In dentistry, it's one of the only industries that there is no salespeople. They're not allowed. And so I know dental offices don't want to come off as car salesmen. But unfortunately, if you have patient financing, you're probably coming off as a car salesman. And let me explain, okay? So first, I'm going to tell you about a client who did this properly. We went through, we documented everything. And at the end of the show, I'm going to give you the link to it. If you want it, drop a comment below. We'll get it to you. They were able to double their new patients, more than double, went from 24 new patients a month, over 50 new patients in the first month of working with them. I think they had 54 new patients in total, and they were able to get a great ROI from those patients, almost a 400%. And we have a whole case study on how they did that. But one of the keys that they did was, instead of saving with patient financing, they were setting. And I'm going to explain what that means today. And then I'm going to talk about why doing it wrong actually ends up giving the wrong impression to the patients, comes off very salesy, and creates a horrible patient journey. Okay, now first, before I even jump into that, I want to address this. I know why dentists don't like patient financing, because they think I'm going to lose too much money on the patient financing. But what they don't realize is that actually losing by patients not accepting treatment because they don't have the patient financing being used properly is actually much larger than any fee that you're going to pay to the patient financing company. Okay, so let's talk about this technique, setting versus saving. So let's talk what saving is. This is how 99% of dentists do it. Okay, patient comes in, has $5,000 worth of treatment that needs to be done. Your office presents it, and the patient goes, okay, let me think about it. I'll let you know. And then you come in and go, oh, but we also have some patient financing as options if you want to try to take advantage of that today. And what happens is you're trying to save the patient with patient financing, and it comes off super, super, super like a car salesman. And it's bad. And nobody likes that. Patients don't like it. The doctors don't like that. And your team doesn't like it. And then your team comes back and goes, no one really likes patient financing. No one wants to use it. And it's not the patient financing's fault. It's the way that you're using the patient financing. Okay? And that's a big problem. So what's setting the sale? So setting the sale is doing it this way. Setting the sale is the patient comes in, they have $5,000 worth of work to be done, and you go, hey, Mr. Patient, you have $5,000 of work that needs to be done. There's a bunch of different ways that we could tackle this, okay? Number one, we could pay it in cash. You get a discount for that. Number two, you could put it on a credit card or something like that. Or number three, we have low monthly payments set up in, a couple different tiers, and there's different options, obviously. And the patient now has choices right in front of them. It doesn't come off salesy. It doesn't come off, as like you're trying to save the deal or whatever like that. It just comes off as you're giving great options to a patient that needs those options. Like it or not, dentistry is super duper expensive. Most people cannot afford dentistry. That's just the fact. So when they get these big numbers, you have to have options for them. And when you do this, they're going to be much more able to have a conversation with you on how they're going to be able to make that work or not make that work. Now, most offices are saving. They're not setting. If you start setting, what you're going to notice is you're going to get more production. You're going to notice that you're going to get more retention of patients. They're going to stay with your practices longer. And number 3, you're going to have a greater ROI from your marketing. And if you don't do this right, again, you come off very, very salesy. So we have a case study on this. We had a doctor who went from doing 24 new patients a month, and I have the data up here in front of me. They did 58 in the first month of marketing. So they're able to more than double their new patients. And they did $62,000 in production, which was almost a 400% ROI, which is amazing. And one of the main things that he did to be able to do this, and if you want the case study, I'll drop it below. It explains all this in video and written format of how we did this. We were able to do this. One of the main things was in his office, they don't save the patient with patient financing. They set the patient. So every single patient's getting the same experience and the same opportunities of patient financing. And the doctor isn't going like this. Well, no, I don't want to pay those fees to the patient financing company. That's not what's happening there. And when you do that, you end up losing more patients out the door. Yeah, you save a little bit of money on the patient financing, but you lose more patients through the door than you would have. And you don't want that. You do not want that back door of patients going out. Many patients staying with your office as long as possible. And the doctors who figure out this side of dentistry first are going to be very, very successful. Let's talk about the people who do financing now. Your iPhone that you have in your pocket, you're probably financing it. Your car in the driveway, you're financing it. Anytime you go to a website, what do they offer right away? Oh, we got 12 months interest free. Like everybody's doing financing. And the reason why is people don't have money. Now, we can have a separate conversation about if it's responsible for people to be doing these kind of things and to be financing everything. That's a separate conversation. But if people are going to finance anything, it should be for their health. Their health should be the thing that they're taking care of first, because you can't take care of all of your other stuff if you're not healthy. And so if you really want to take care of more patients and you really want to do what's best for the patient, it's giving them the options that are in front of them and not making them walk out the door and go to another office that is going to offer them these options, or making them piecemeal. Here's another thing the dentists do, and it drives me nuts. They piecemeal all of their treatment rather than giving the patient options to get it all done at once. So, you can't afford it? Okay, let's piecemeal it all out. But they never present patient financing. That's not in the best interest of the patient. If they really have dental needs, you should be giving them financial options to figure out how to get those dental needs met immediately, not spread out over the next year and broken into chunks. Okay. Now, if they don't qualify for financing, sure, that's the next best option. But if we're not even giving them the option of patient financing, we're really doing a disservice to the patients. So with that in mind, how do you do it? Do you set or save at your office? And if you want this case study, I would love to share it with you. Just comment below. We'll drop you the link. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Hope you have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time.